Good morning.
Morning.
How are you feeling?
Not fantastic.
How do you feel? A bit tired and run down?
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm feeling better today than I have all week.
Have you?
Yeah.
Does this terrain suit you better, do you think?
Yeah,
Or is it just a temperature?
Well, it's like the first time I'm doing all like this, so I
Hats off to you then.
totally overheated on first day.
Yeah.
Second day was still a bit horrible, but then yesterday was just amazing, and today I don't want to get struck by lightning, but it'd be nice to see in the distance a bit of thunder and lightning going on.
Welcome to day 4 of the Montane Dragon's Back race, and the dragon continues to breathe fire into this race. However, she's been conspiring with the weather gods because this race has been turned on its head from boiling hot conditions to something a bit more changeable and wetter for the runners. But day 4 is still really interesting, Lowri, and 70 long kilometres.
Yeah, 70 long kilometres, but less elevation. But you've got to remember, they've still got 3 solid days in those legs. Those legs will be heavy, they'll be a bit wobbly, but they will be rewarded with these wonderful views along the Elan Valley. But there are long tarmac sections to this route, which may favour some of the faster road specialists, but as somebody who enjoys running on the road, I remember how difficult, how painful it was on the joints, and how glad I was to see that camp at the end of day 4.
Yeah, well, it's certainly going to be another interesting day here, and we're going to look at the course and see what's ahead of them.
Pob lwc bawb, a daliwch ati a ras cefn y ddraig.
So there really are no easy days on the Montane Dragon's Back race, and this is also an example of that. Straight out of camp, within 100 metres, the road kicks straight up. It's only a farm track, it's not technical, and you can see these guys, it's a reminder straight out of camp that they are in a race. The heart rate goes up, the pulse goes up, the lungs are burning. How are you doing, guys?
Yeah, good. I guess you want us to be running past them.
No, we want you to be doing what you do. And there you go, off they go on their 70 kilometres on day 4 of the Montane Dragon's Back race.
Yesterday we had a breeze and it was the best thing that's ever happened to me. And today, hopefully rain. I'm a bad weather runner. I love bad weather. Runs in Wales, but it's bad weather. So
Perfect then.
hopefully bad weather.
Just basically, in Dragon's Back, you follow the toughest, gnarliest terrain, and you're probably going right. Genuinely. Yeah.
What's keeping you going?
Say again?
What's keeping you going?
It's a pretty good question, Lowri. Campsite.
I'm just going to see my family tomorrow. They're all coming out, their kids are coming out of school early. Yeah, I keep thinking of them nearly crying. I don't know, I haven't cried in a long time. Not that I don't cry, but I keep getting emotional, it's weird.
This is the roller coaster of the Dragon's Back race.
it
It is, isn't it?
But you have little moments where you suddenly go,
So we're here on Esgair Penygarreg, which is the ridge of the head of the stones, and with the mist coming in and out, it's ending up being more of a treasure hunt for these runners today as they search for the dragon's gold, the checkpoints along the route.
Yeah, and we've been here watching runners come in, some of them taking different routes,
Yeah.
should we say, Lowri?
Yeah.
With the cloud going up and down. Vistas are becoming visible and then invisible. So navigation is going to be absolutely key.
Oh, without a doubt. But they're all smiling a bit more today because it's cooler, it's softer under feet, and of course there's a feeling now that the end is nigh.
So this is my home ground, yeah.
But how difficult is it running, knowing that you could easily just give up and could pop into the house and have a good old sleep in the bed?
It would be harder to go. It'd be harder to go back and tell my little lad that I hadn't done it though. So that's what the driving force is for me at the moment. It is. It's all about my wife and little lad. So yeah, great. Great. Thank you.
I'm Danny.
So an integral part of the Dragon's Back race is the support point. All the runners look forward to it. It's normally around about halfway through every single day. And the runners come in, grab their bags, gather their thoughts, refresh, get rehydrated, and also take the stuff out of the bags to get them through the rest of the stage.
As soon as they come in, we'll check them out, make sure there's everything they need. If they need water, get the food, just anything within reason.
It's a nice part of the day because you get to see other runners, you get to see the support crews, you have a bit of interaction and you kind of feel pulled into the event again.
Back into the family. Mile 3, sounds like you had quite an adventure.
So mile 3, I slipped down a bank and my shoulder pops out and yeah, a lot of pain. Had to make our way back up the hill with my arm out here somewhere. One of the guys said there's a shoulder surgeon behind. So, a shoulder specialist, a guy called Hugh.
What are the chances of that happening on the Dragon's Back race?
Yeah.
In the middle of nowhere.
So we managed to, by the time we had just a bit of signal, we spoke to race control. They went through the scenarios with us about where I could get some help. But we got to the top of the hill, Hugh laid me down, went into full medical assistance mode. It was incredible, asked me all the questions he needed to know. Then with the assistance of 3 people, helped get my shoulder back in place.
I mean, that is a perfect example of the number one, camaraderie.
Yeah, it was amazing.
But also the fact that, you know, people will give it their time in this race to concentrate on helping you get through.
There were like three to 5. I mean, sometimes I wasn't that conscious of how many. One had his foot under my shoulder, so like 2 were pulling at my arm, and then others were offering me other things. People holding equipment for me. There were like a lot of people helping me out.
Unbelievable.
It was amazing.
Come back into the station.
Yeah, normally I'm close to timing out, so thankfully I started at 6 because I didn't want to hang around. And it looks like I was really worried about missing this big time. So it looks like I've got a couple of hours.
And now you've got your drop bag.
And my drop bag, I've got my gear, so I'm feeling good to carry on and see the end of the day.
I mean, that's the sort of story that you will never forget. They won't forget, and probably we won't forget on this race.
I'm massively grateful for all their assistance.
Yeah. Now, fun is a massive part of the Dragon's Back race, and here we've got it in bucket loads. Some of these guys who are supporting have run the race. They're runners. They understand the mentality and the commitment that it takes to go into this race. And also, on the last 20 kilometres, what these runners need is a lift. They need water, but they also need fun. And that, I can tell you, is absolutely priceless.
So, here we are, day 4, Dragon's Back. Boys are doing it, they're smashing it. Here we have Daniel Wood here. Where are you from, Daniel? South Wales. The man's a legend. Cardiff.
Cardiff. It's getting closer.
It is.
So, after over 60 kilometres, the Dragon Slayers will drop off the mountain and onto this section made famous by the local bandit, Twm Sean Catty. But all runners will have to pay the highwayman's tax, 10k of tarmac.
No more bonus tussocks.
No more tussocks for you, Katie. Well done.
Thanks so much.
Keep going.
Matthew Griffiths.
What's your number? 97.
Number 7.
How's that, Matthew?
That was really tough.
It's been a good help to me.
Yeah, really bad, eh?
It's nice been a team effort.
It's nice to go on a team.
Yeah. Matt, you and I have been on the mountains today and we've seen a roller coaster of emotions, haven't we? I think once you reach that ultimate limit of your endurance and your body shouting stop, quit, you realise that your limits don't break. They bend and then you find a 6th, 7th gear, an 8th gear, and then you start to revel in it. And we've seen some happy, smiley faces today, haven't we?
Oh, we've seen some absolutely amazing people out there. Some personal highlights of mine have been the support crew from this event team. Absolutely fantastic. And the runners feed off that. I've also seen a few odd things going on out there. People taking wrong lines maybe, maybe just a few odd words being said out there, but it's because the mind is absolutely exhausted. And why wouldn't it be on day 4?
Yeah, 2 days left. But another way of seeing it is by telling yourself you've got 1 day left before you've got 1 day left.
That's a good way of looking at it,
Breaking
Lowri.
it down.
Absolutely. Well, what we can say is that some of these runners now are really starting to believe they're going to make it down to Cardiff.
Ydyn, mae'n amser iddyn nhw ddechrau credu.
Nos da.